In number 1, we want to write the word name of this number. So we'll start with the first group, 35, and we'll write out 35 million. Million because we do have 6 digits following it. And next we have 175. I'll put a comma here. 175 thousand. And now the next group, 307. In number 2, we have a word name and we want to write the number. So we'll start with 35 million. So just write 35. And we'll put in that comma. 25,000. So we have 0.25. That's for the next group, just a 25. And then we have 63. So that would be another 0 and then 63. In number 3, we're adding our whole numbers. So let's line these up vertically. 6,893 and 742. Make sure to line up the digits and make sure that the digits on the right are lined up. Okay, so here we have just add this column. 3 and 2 is 5. Now 9 plus 4 is 13. So we put down the 1's digit, that is, put down the 3, and carry the 10's digits, carry that 1 in the 13. And now we're going to add 3 digits. So we have 8 and 1 is 9. 9 plus 7 is 16. And 6 plus 1 is 7. So there's our result. Okay, let's look at number 4. Again, let's line up our digits vertically. 5,793 and underneath 2,857. Make sure the digits on the right are aligned and start adding the columns. Columns lined up. 7 and 3 is 10. Put down the 0, put down the 1's digit and carry the 10's digits. And 1 plus 9 is 10 and 5 is 15. Put down the 5, carry the 1. Here we have 1 plus 7 is 8 and another 8 is 16. Put down the 6, carry the 1. 1 and 5 is 6 and another 2 is 8. In number 5, we're subtracting, so again, we're going to line up our digits. 8,743, subtract 5,482. So first we subtract 3 subtract 2 is 1. And now 4 subtract 8. Well, since 4 is less than 8, we're going to have to borrow from the next column. So what we do is we borrow a 1 from the 7, and so we're going to make this a 6 and put the 1 right here. So we're subtracting 14 subtract 8, which is 6. And continuing in the next column, 6 subtract 4 is 2, and 8 subtract 5 is 3. All right, and number 6, 3001, subtract 1,785, and we line up our digits. So first we want to do 1 subtract 5, so we're going to have to borrow from the next column because 1 is less than 5. When the next column is 0, change the 0 to a 9 and borrow from the next column. Well, the next column is 0 again, so we're going to do the same thing, change to a 9 until we get to a column that is not 0 and we can borrow a 1. So let's change this to a 2. So we'll put our borrowed 1 right here. So notice what we did. We had the number, here's the number 300. We changed it to 299. We borrowed 1 and we put the 1 right here. And now start the subtraction. So we have 11 subtract 5, that's 6. 9 subtract 8 is 1. 9 subtract 7 is 2. And 2 subtract 1 is 1. Okay, here we have another subtraction. 5,402 subtract 2,758. All right, 2 is less than 8, so we're going to have to borrow a 1. And we'll change the 0 to a 9. And go over to the next column, which is not 0, and change that to a 3. All right, so now we finish the borrowing for the first column, and let's start subtracting. 12 subtract 8 is 4. 9 subtract 5 is 4. Okay, here we have 3 subtract 7, so 3 is less than 7, so we're going to have to borrow a 1 and change the next column to a 4. 13 subtract 7 is 6. And 4 subtract 2 is 2. All right, and number 8, 2,000 subtract 5. So we're going to write this out. Remember to align the numbers on the right, like that. Okay, we're subtracting. Okay, so 0 subtract 5, we have to borrow 1. And since we have a 0 in the next column, change to a 9. Keep going until we get to a column that doesn't contain a 0. Okay, continue, change to a 9. And here we will change that to a 1. All right, 10 subtract 5 is 5. And now just bring down the 9, bring down the next 9, and bring down the 1. So we have 1,995.